How's it going, everybody? I haven't been on the YouTube live in forever, but here I am. And I am coming live from the great state of Georgia, sitting in my hotel, and I had a little bit of downtime, so I'm trying to do some lives. Now, I doubt if anybody will hop on here because I never do these. But with that being said, I do believe that this message that I'm about to talk about is definitely necessary. So please stay tuned for my food for thought and just leave how you feel in the comments and let me know, okay? Now, with that being said, I was thinking about the idea of cost, right? Things being inexpensive, expensive, being willing to pay the cost. Like, I'm a firm believer that nothing in life is free. There's always something has to be traded or bartered with. Like, there's nothing in life that's free, especially not winning. And losing costs money too. I think everything it costs, right? And I was thinking to myself earlier about this idea, right? How if I want to buy a piece of candy, the candy's gonna cost maybe $1. But if I wanted to buy an apple, the apple's gonna cost more, right? And I get, I was talking about this earlier on Facebook and on Instagram. I get it that if you could grow your own plants and things like that, grow your own crops, grow your own fruits. I'm just talking about from a cost standpoint, right? If I want to go buy something that's deemed unhealthy, it's going to be less expensive than something that's considered healthy, like organic food or Whole Foods is considered a healthy grocery store. It's more expensive than other grocery stores, right? And then it got me to thinking, right? And this is like kind of my thought process here, right? Even though in the short term, and this is what we don't talk about, short term versus long term. In the short term, the unhealthy things may be less expensive. However, in the long term, they're going to be more expensive with medical bills and medicines and things of that nature, right? And the vice versa to that is, even though the healthier lifestyle may cost more to sustain now, in the long run, it might be less expensive because you're not having to pay as much for medical bills and medicines and things of that nature, right? And then as I thought about this, I wanted to relate that or correlate that with winning and losing or success and being unsuccessful, right? And I thought to myself, why is it easier for people to make excuses rather than make themselves successful? And it dawned on me that success is expensive. Winning is expensive. Winning may cost you everything, and it does not guarantee necessarily that you're going to get anything of equal value in return. Whereas making an excuse or a cop-out is cheap. When you make it, you don't really lose anything in our mind once you've made the excuse. All you've done is chosen your comfort of right now, and you feel like that's okay. But what if I told you the same way in the long run, by choosing an unhealthier lifestyle becomes more expensive in the long run? What if I told you that by choosing a cheap excuse now, in the long run is going to have a larger impact on your life because you're going to have to deal with the regrets of knowing that you could have done more with your gifts and your talents, as opposed to you choosing the more difficult thing now, which is to work towards your success, to work toward winning. In the long run, you then don't have to deal with the regrets of knowing that at least I went for it, right? At least I tried. I got closer than I would have if I did nothing, right? If we know for a fact that nothing in life is free, and the crazy thing about it is, I'll explain this, I'm realizing that all things in life are expensive. Right? Whether or not you choose to be your best version of yourself may seem like it's not as much work for me to be a slacker now, but later down the line, the fact that you chose to be a slacker may prove to be more expensive, because then you have to do far more things for you to live just life then, as opposed to you making the sacrifice and choosing to buy in now. Whereas later, you may not have to do all those things that the people who chose not to have to. We know that nothing in life is free. You want skills? Then you have to pay for those skills. One thing that I always talk to my athletes about is start thinking about your skills as if you're purchasing something, right? Like the same as you would pay $160 for some Air Maxes, or maybe $70 for a pair of jeans, or whatever it is you're into, whatever clothes you like. I don't care what it is. Your skills cost money. Where it may not be dollars and cents, I believe that things like conditioning are currency. What if I told you that the stand and tuck that you want so badly costs 10,000 lemon squeezes, or 10,000 backward rolls, or 10,000 hours of holding a hollow body is going to get you your full, right? As opposed to you saying, well, conditioning is not tumbling, or drills are not any of those things. What I'm telling you is you have to pay for that skill, right? You want to be a better route runner in football, you got to put the time in running your routes. You want to be a better track runner, you got to put the time in increasing your speed. You want to be a better jump shooter, you got to put the time in shooting your jump shots. That's how it works. Time is money. So this idea that you can somehow skip over this thing and not get the experience that's going to allow you to get better at that thing, to me, is going to set you back. You can choose right now if you would like to do nothing. Just understand that you will pay for doing nothing later. Or you can decide to do something now, and then on the back end, you may be living a better life than the person who chose to do nothing. I've been working on this quote that I think pretty much sums up this idea that I'm trying to relay. And it goes, those who take shortcuts tend to have their accomplishments cut short. I'll say it one more time just to make sure that I'm saying it correctly. Those who take shortcuts tend to have their accomplishments cut short. See, I don't know how long it is or what it is that you want to accomplish in life. I don't know how far you want to go. I don't know what your thing is. I don't know what your it is. I have no idea. But one thing I do know is that no matter what your it is or what your thing is, it is going to require something from you. And depending on how far you want to take it, it's probably going to require all of you. You want to be a good parent, your kids are going to require all of you to make that happen. You want to be a successful businessman or woman, it's going to require all of you. You want to be a good athlete, it's going to require all of you and then some. See, the funny thing about it is I remember saying this, like, man, I want to be a really good coach and blah, 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 and all these things. And I remember I had an athlete say something to me that blew my mind, but she was right. She said, you can always do more. And I was like, huh? See, a lot of us are like, man, I put all this work in and I got nothing back. Or I put all this work in and nothing's working. Right? That may require you to put more work in. Right? It's not about you giving until, oh man, I'm tired. You got to find that place where you can keep going until you get what it is that you want. As I talk about this and I think about it, I realize more and more and more and more that losing is just as expensive as winning. Becoming successful is just as expensive as not trying at all. It may not seem like that in the short term, but at some point, the cost of the life that you chose will reveal itself. The decisions that you have made for the life that you live will reveal itself. It may not be that big of a deal that you decided not to be in your children's life. At some point in time, that decision that you did make or did not make will reveal itself in time. The way that your children relate to you, the relationship you have or don't have, it will reveal itself to you. See, I know for a fact that each and every person that's walking the face of this planet that was given a gift. And that gift that you were given, whether you know it or not, you are in a relationship with that gift and that talent. The decisions you make or the things that you decide to do with your gifts and talent will reveal itself in the end. I ask that every person that watches this video or ever hears me talk makes the decision to maximize and use their gifts the best way that they possibly can. Because I believe that by doing so, And by honing your gift is how you get closer to becoming your best self. Do not be deceived by the idea of staying in your comfort zone. Don't be deceived by the idea of cheapening yourself with excuses, because at some point those cheap excuses will become expensive. I hope what I said made sense today, as always. And I think I'm gonna do this more often, man. For the people that watch, see one person, and thank you for listening. And for the people that's gonna watch this later, man, let me know how you guys feel in the comments. I'm always looking for feedback. And that's it, man. Just trying to get better out here. Appreciate y'all. Peace.